Hi everybody, Russ from My Hammers 11. I hope you're all safe and well. It's Sunday, so it's time for another Sunday Funday 11. For those who are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification or hitting the little thing at the bottom here, and that will subscribe you straight away to the channel. And hitting bell notification, you can be aware of any time we put a new video on. For those who are new to the channel as well, on a Sunday we try and do things a little bit differently, basically because I'm sat outside Marks and Spencer's car park waiting for my wife to finish the Sunday shopping. Because of social distancing, I'm not allowed in there with her, so why not? And we try and do on a Sunday something a bit more fun, picking 11 where either it might have been a suggestion from a viewer or a follower on the social media channels, or maybe it comes out of a conversation with someone, an interview. And this one came out of a conversation of people, in that Steve Potts was popped into a number of people's 11. Obviously, he famously scored that one goal for West Ham, I believe, against Hull City. I will be mistaken. Please obviously comment if I'm wrong. And you know, it was his goal. It's the only goal he scored for West Ham. And I was thinking there must be an 11 that I can pick of people who've only scored one goal for West Ham. And we're going to go for Premier League goals for West Ham rather than sort of League Cups and things like that, just because obviously I could get the stats quite easily. So this is all via the Premier League website. And the goalkeeper, I've somewhat put a bit of poetic sort of license in there, so hopefully you will allow me that. So in goal for the one goal 11 is Adrian. And obviously famously scored that one goal for West Ham. He didn't score the goal, but he scored a goal in the Cup penalty shootout against Everton, and that's that famous gloves off moment. Lovely servant for the club, nice guy, and a good lad all round by all accounts. I can't think of any goalkeepers who have scored for West Ham, particularly in my lifetime. I know Ludo had a bit of a thump on him, and sometimes a goal kick would go all the way to the goalkeeper. Famously, Les Seeley, the late great Les Seeley, played up front for us against Arsenal away, I believe. Did David James play up front for us for a bit, for like a game? It might have been against Man City. Apologies if I'm wrong, but I can't think of anyone else. So we'll put Adrian in goal. He's between our sticks. Left back, Paul Konchesky, obviously still associated with the club, with the academy, and great left back. Played for England, a couple of England caps, and scored a solitary goal for us at West Ham in terms of the Premier League. He's on the left. Right back, we're going to go with the very stylish Guy Demel. The man was just like one muscle, wasn't he? He was just solid. And not much got past him in terms of being bullied off the ball. And he scored a solitary goal against us, for us rather, at West Ham in the Premier League. So put Konchesky on the left, we'll put Guy Demel on the right. In the centres, we're going to go with our former captain, Lucas Neal, our Australian wonder. Obviously, I think he scored quite a few goals for Blackburn, I believe, but only scored one solitary goal for us in all the time he played at West Ham. And obviously, he was a good captain, Lucas Neal was, I thought. And so we'll put Lucas Neal in, and he's been partnered with. Now, I was going to go with our claret dyed hair wonder from Chile, Javier Margas, but because he scored one Premier League goal for us. But I'm going for Igor Stimac. Played a lot of games for Derby, obviously, as well, and scored goals for Derby, but only scored one Premier League goal for us. So that's our back four: Konchesky, Stimac, Lucas Neal, and Guy Demel. Midfield, on the left, a guy who I thought was really underrated at West Ham, Matty Taylor. He had a great left foot in him. Obviously scored a lot of goals for Bolton particularly, and Portsmouth, I believe, but only scored one Premier League goal for West Ham. A lot of his time, I think, was obviously based in the Championship as well for us, and I think he was a really good servant for the club, and I think he did a good job for us in that sort of period. So he's going to go on the left. On the right, a guy who I don't think we saw the best out of him. There was glimpses. Victor Moses. Obviously, he was on he was on loan for us, and scored that great goal against Man City, I believe, when we had sort of that sort of little run where we were really, really strong home and away. And I thought he was a great player, really, really fast, really exciting. I think he's at Fenerbahce now. And that was his only goal for West Ham in terms of the Premier League. So put Matty on the left, Victor on the right. Midfield. Now, in terms of central midfield, we did have quite a few options. Gary O'Neill only scored 1 Premier League goal for us. Nice guy, Gary O'Neill seemed. Jonathan Spector only scored 1 Premier League goal for us. Of course, he scored that brace against Man United in the Cup, famously, but only 1 Premier League goal for us. And Mike Marsh, who was great for us in that period, with like David Burrows and people like that. He only scored 1 Premier League goal for us. But the two I'm going for are Carl Fletcher. He only scored 1 Premier League goal for West Ham, but was a good servant. Played a lot of great games for us. Obviously helped us in that sort of mid 2000s period, and was always quite dependable when he played. And partnered with the late great Mark Vivian Foe. He was a lovely player, wasn't he? Again, strong. Not much to get past him, but unfortunately, unfortunately died on the pitch in his latter end of his career. But he scored 1 Premier League goal for us. So that's my midfield. We've got Taylor, we've got Moses, we've got Fletcher, and we've got Mark Vivian Foe. Up front, slightly worrying in that there's quite a few people who have only scored 1 Premier League goal for us. I could have gone for Nikita Jelavic, who obviously came with that fanfare of that sort of whole raft of players we signed towards the end of the Bowling Ground. He scored 1 goal. He scored quite a few for Hull, but only 1 for us. And Todorov, do you remember Todorov? Scored about 30-35 goals, I think, for Portsmouth eventually, but only scored 1 Premier League goal for West Ham. But the two I've gone for are Jonathan Calleri, our on loan striker from Argentina. Played, obviously La Liga was, I think it was for a period, if I'm right to believe, when he left us, was like one of the top goal scorers for La Liga in the sort of the early part of the season he left us for. But Jonathan Calleri. There were glimpses of him. But not enough, obviously, to warrant staying with the club. And he's partnered with a guy who goes down in probably West Ham folklore history, really, as the guy who scored the first ever Premier League goal for us, Dale Gordon. Obviously, we signed him from Rangers, if I remember. And he scored our first Premier League goal ever. And that was his only Premier League goal for us. I think he went on to play he played 10 games for us. And again, came with a lot of fanfare. I think he got injured, and that sort of stumped his career at West Ham. But that's my team. Hope you found it a bit more interesting, a bit more fun. Obviously, please, again, as I said, like, share, subscribe to the channel. We've got some great videos coming up soon, some really good guests coming up. And until next time, stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.